I'm sure by now you've heard that there's a linen cloth in a vault in Italy called the Shroud of Turin, and it's been sparking debates forever.
The impact.
Living in a memory.
So the Shroud of Turin is making headlines, and there are videos all over YouTube about it. Some people think it's the actual burial cloth of Jesus with his image on it. Others say it's just a medieval fake. You can see a faint picture of a crucified man with wounds that exactly match what the Bible says about Jesus' crucifixion. Now lately, new studies are making people wonder if it's proof of the resurrection. It is confirmed that there is blood on it, and that blood type is AB, which is incredibly rare and shows up all over the cloth. Scientists think a huge burst of energy or light made the image, showing things like teeth and bones. Sounds crazy. I'm not sure where you stand about stuff like this, but I find it incredibly fascinating. When you look close at the shroud, it's pretty intense. X-ray images show between 100 and 200 whip marks all over the body, except the face, the forearms, and the feet. There's nail holes in the wrist and feet, blood on the head like from a crown of thorns, and a wound in the side from what looks like to be a spear. The blood's type, AB, and it's not smeared, like the body just vanished. There's also this other cloth called the Sudarium of Oviedo, I hope I'm saying that right, which might have covered Jesus' face. It's got the same AB blood and lines up perfectly with the shroud's blood stains. Listen to what shroud expert Dr. Jeremiah Johnston had to say when he appeared on the Michael Knowles podcast recently and discussed all things shroud and the Sudarium of Oviedo. I think you will find this fascinating.
This is a replica of the Sudarium of Oviedo. And I want you to meet Doug Powell.
This is supposed to be the headcloth. My first question when I even learned about the headcloth, which, was kept separately from the shroud, and, they kind of have made their ways all around the world. Why would Christ's face be on the shroud? Wouldn't it only be on the headcloth? Isn't the fact that Christ's face is on the shroud an argument against the shroud?
It's not. Doug, go right ahead.
Well, if you read John's account of the discovery of the shroud, they also find the headcloth in a separate place. Mm-hmm. So there are other cloths than the burial cloth around Jesus. And so the fact that there is a headcloth means there's another cloth. And the fact that there's no face on it means that it wasn't in contact with whatever made the image on the shroud when the image got made. So it's separated at some point. And this is what is believed to be that cloth.
And what I might add is, so when was the cloth wrapped around his face?
Yeah.
Jesus dies at around 3 p.m. on the cross. He's hanging there. He's dead.
Yeah.
Jewish sensitivities are such that even the blood that's dripping from the body would want to be collected and not just out on the ground. So that is when they wrap his face with the Sudarium, is when he's still on the cross, coming down from the cross. That it remains on his face until they bring the body in the tomb where it is taken off and Jesus is wrapped with the shroud. Does that make sense, the timing?
That does make sense. I've just never figured it out.
Yes.
That's never been presented to me before. But yeah, I suppose that would make sense because then you would also say, well, hold on, if it were just on the whole time or if it was just part of the wrapping, well, why isn't there
an image,
3D image,
right,
like there is on the shroud? Why isn't there one on the Sudarium?
And Doug, I wonder if you would talk about the correspondence of the blood type. Are you ready to have your mind blown further, Michael?
I am.
Okay, well, what you're looking at here is it's oriented so this particular stain, you can see there's 3 areas of stains. You have this one, and this one. This area right here was in direct contact with a face that matches exactly the face on the shroud. It's a 1-to-1 correspondence, and if you line up the nose, if you register the nose, then this kind of concentrated area of blood is right around the mouth and the beard area, and you can see how it kind of hooks around like the beard does. And then this vertical area goes right down the bridge of the nose, and this would be on the forehead right here. This epsilon shape right here is the edge of this, and then you can see this blood stain corresponds here, and there are a number of other ones. That one corresponds there, and so if you do an overlay, like if you outline this and you put it right onto that, it's an exact match in size, not just in size, but in blood type as well. First of all, scientists have been able to recreate this stain right here by taking a head, a glass head that is filled with blood mixed with pulmonary edema, which is the fluid that's generated in the lungs during asphyxiation or other kind of torture or duress. And that's the blood mixture that is on here, and that's also the blood mixture that you see in different places on the shroud, like here. It's 6 parts pulmonary edema to 1 part blood. So that's what's coming out of the lungs. And so that's what's coming out of his mouth. Of the man who had the Sudarium wrapped around him. So it matches like that. It's also type AB, which is also the type on the shroud. It's also post-mortem blood.
Right.
And type AB is the rarest blood type. It's about 3 times more common in Mediterranean Jews than it is in European.
So we have to ask ourselves, is this just coincidence? Is all of this some elaborate hoax? If so, then how come we can't reproduce it with all of our technology? The shroud and its image are incredibly unique. How unique, you might ask? The image shows stuff like teeth and backbone, like the light came from inside the body. That's kind of crazy to even think about. Now, for me, this is where it gets weird. Nobody knows how the image got on the cloth. It's not painted or burned or anything like that. So back in 1988, scientists did carbon-14 test and said the shroud is from the 1300s, like 1300 years after Jesus. That had a lot of people, including me, thinking, okay, maybe it's just a fake. But hang on, there's new stuff you need to hear about. I came across a peer-reviewed study that's had the internet buzzing lately. It says the old carbon-14 test, they might have been way off. As a matter of fact, way off. The way they picked the samples and ran the test had some serious issues, and this new research suggests the shroud could be way older, literally from the time of Jesus. Some scientists in Italy from a group called ENEA think it took a flash of ultraviolet light so intense, if it didn't happen super fast, it would vaporize the cloth. How fast? Well, how about 34 trillion watts in just 25 nanoseconds? Now, those numbers literally mean nothing to me because it's beyond my understanding, which, to be honest, sounds like God to me. That's faster than you can blink, and nobody back then or even now could do that without ruining the cloth. We have no way to duplicate this on that cloth. Oh, and by the way, it's the most studied artifact in the history of the world. Some trying to disprove it and others trying to prove its authenticity. In 2024, Italian researchers used something called wide-angle X-ray scattering, or WAX, to check the shroud's fibers. They compared it to a linen from Masada, which is dated around 55 to 74 AD, basically in Jesus' time. They're saying the shroud could be 2,000 years old. It literally has the same weaving in the shroud of that time frame. Scientists have also been able to find pollen from the Jerusalem area as well in the shroud. Come on, man, that's incredible. Now, we may never know until we get to heaven, but man, it looks like the real deal to me, and I was a serious skeptic. So where does that leave us? The Shroud of Turin is a bit of a mystery to say the least. You've got type AB, unbelievably rare blood on it. a matching face cloth, an image from a 34 trillion watt light flash, and now tests saying it could be from Jesus' time. Now that's hard to brush off as a fake, right? But here's the thing, even if it's not real, my faith in Jesus doesn't depend on it. His life, his death, and his resurrection. I believe God's word, and not to mention there's solid historical evidence for Jesus. The shroud, real or not, still makes you think about what Jesus went through and how he overcame death to save us. Now, if this has got you curious, hit the like button and stay tuned for more content like this. We'll see you next time.